Chosen one, lock your attention on my voice right now. That urge to scroll past this message is not an accident. The enemy has been working overtime for one reason and one reason only. He knows what shifts the moment you receive these words. You did not find this video by chance today. The algorithm did not bring you here to this exact moment. The Holy Spirit directed your path because your spirit is exhausted. There is a document in heaven with your name at the very top of it. Under your name, there is exactly one line of instruction. There is one line and not 7, but you have been running yourself into the ground, trying to fulfill a list that heaven never wrote for you. You have accepted the world's definition of productivity, and it is destroying your peace. You feel a heaviness that absolutely does not lift, even after you have rested for days. I know exactly what the last 72 hours have felt like for you. You are waking up at 3 in the morning with a heavy weight on your chest. You stare at the ceiling while the rest of the house is entirely quiet. A profound restlessness runs underneath every single thing you do. You try to pray, but the words just feel scattered and empty. You are physically drained before your feet even touch the floor. You walk through your own home feeling like a stranger in your own life. The atmosphere feels unusually thick, and you cannot explain it to anyone around you. They look at you and assume everything is fine because you have mastered the art of pretending. You smile and offer advice while your own mind feels like a chaotic storm. You are giving away energy that you desperately need for your own survival. You have been living as though there were 7 documents with your name on them. You run from morning to night doing good and honorable things for other people. You help them solve problems and carry burdens that were never yours to carry. And yet you go to bed feeling completely hollow and strangely guilty. You feel guilty because you are busy all day, but cannot point to one thing that is actually finished. You say yes to things you absolutely do not have room for. You stretch yourself across so many needs that your own spirit is left starving. Do not call yourself lazy ever again. You are not lazy, and you are not broken. You are simply exhausted from closing absolutely nothing. A scattered chosen one is a safe chosen one to the enemy. He does not need to destroy your life to stop your calling. He only needs to keep you spread so thin that you finish nothing at all. He knows that 7 honorable things running at once produce the exact same result as doing nothing, and they come with the added bonus that you will constantly blame yourself for it. Think back to a moment earlier this very week. You opened a specific project that you have been avoiding for months. You looked at it for exactly 4 minutes, and then you closed it again. Someone asked how that assignment was going, and you smoothly changed the subject. You smiled and said you would get back to it when things finally settle down. But things never settle down, and the weight of it just keeps draining your energy. Your shoulders are tight, and your mind is a storm of unfinished tasks. This is a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth. You are standing in a house with 7 doors cracked open, and the cold air is rushing in. Your soul is paying the electricity bill for a house where nothing is ever closed. You are carrying a specific anointing that is being suffocated by your own good intentions. Heaven is stepping in today to break this exhausting cycle for good. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal exactly how to identify your true assignment. I will give you the 3-question test that isolates the one thing out of your 7 open doors. You will know exactly which door heaven actually asked you to walk through. You will finally see which burdens you need to drop right now without any guilt. You were never audited on the 7 things you started. I am also going to expose the noble hiding place you have been using without even knowing it. You have been using your service to others as a shield to avoid your own calling. You stay busy helping them, so you do not have to face the fear of finishing your own work. This is the exact trap keeping your greatest gift completely paralyzed. It is the only hiding place on earth where people will actually applaud you for hiding. And then I will uncover the quiet compromise that has been holding your work at 80% for years. You stop at 80% because that is the last safe place where nobody can judge you. you will understand why your perfectionism is actually just a brilliant survival strategy. But that strategy has now become a cage, and today is the day we unlock it. An unfinished thing cannot be criticized, and you have traded your purpose for that artificial safety. Do not click away, and do not let your mind wander. If you leave before the end, you will leave with all 7 doors still draining your spirit. Stay until the very last word of this message. At the end, I will give you the exact declaration that seals these doors permanently. Your future self is waiting on the other side of these words, so anchor your spirit right now. You are about to take your power back. You have been told that your exhaustion is a sign of your laziness, and you have deeply believed that you are not working hard enough. But let me reframe your entire reality right now. Your tiredness is not a punishment for being unspiritual or undisciplined. It is the heavy tax of a house where all the heat is leaving through open gaps. The opposition has never actually needed to stop you. It only needs to keep you completely spread out. It has watched you start 7 honorable things because it learned a brilliant secret a long time ago. 7 honorable things running at once produce exactly the same result as doing absolutely no things at all. And they come with the devastating benefit that you will constantly blame yourself. You are not failing to work hard, but you are working yourself to death in the completely wrong direction. Every single one of those 7 doors was opened by a very reasonable person. You opened them acting in good faith, on the best information available at the time. You had the hands, and you had the heart, so you simply said yes. There is nothing inherently evil about any of the extra burdens you willingly picked up, but a door left standing ajar is the exact problem we are facing today, because an unfinished thing never actually lies still. It runs in the background of your mind at all hours of the day and night, drawing current exactly like a light left on in an empty room. You are not paying for the actual work of finishing the task. You are paying a massive emotional bill for the not finishing. And heaven never handed you a second project to run alongside the first one. You were entrusted with 1 assignment, and you trained yourself for 10. Look at the greatest builders in the ancient holy records. Noah was given exactly 1 instruction, and it took him most of a lifetime to finish building the ark without any other distractions. He did not start a community garden while cutting the wood. He stayed firmly focused. He did that 1 thing completely, instead of doing 6 things halfway. Now look at Nehemiah when he was standing up on the wall. He had 1 specific assignment, and he built that massive wall in 52 days. It went up because 4 separate times people invited him down to the valley. They offered him a conversation that sounded completely reasonable and completely honorable, but he completely refused to come down. He was not protecting his time or his precious schedule. He was protecting his sacred ability to finish the work. A man who comes down 4 times does not finish his assignment late. He finishes absolutely never, and he does it with a very reasonable explanation each and every time. You have been coming down to the valley for years to have noble conversations, and your wall is sitting in ruins while you help others build theirs. Scripture settles this entire issue in exactly 1 beautiful line. In John chapter 17, at the very end of his earthly assignment, the Son speaks to the Father. He says that he has finished the work he was given to do. Read that line again and hold your own scattered life in your hands. He does not say he finished absolutely everything that needed to be done in the world. He does not say he met every single need in Judea. He says he finished the work that was given to him. The assignment was singular, and it had a firm boundary around it. This is not a promise that your days will magically get easier from now on. It is a powerful promise that your days actually have a specific shape, and you are totally allowed to reach the edge of that shape. You are allowed to say a holy no to the second thing. Choosing 1 thing is not abandoning the other 6 things. It is the only possible way any of them will ever get finished. The 6 do not need you spread thin across all of them like a cheap blanket. They need you to prove just once that a thing in your hands can reach an ending. You have to prove to your own nervous system that closure is actually possible in your life. Once you close one door, your mind stops scanning. The distance between your exhausted evening and a peaceful night is not talent, and it is certainly not finding more hours in the day to work. It is exactly one closed door. But here is the question that stops every single chosen one in their tracks. If 6 of the 7 have to wait, how do you know which one is the true assignment? Because from the inside, they all look incredibly important and entirely urgent to you. That is exactly what makes this process so devastatingly hard for you. You are not choosing between good and bad. You are choosing between good and good, and nobody ever taught you how to navigate that beautiful trap. You usually pick the one that pays the most or the one that screams the loudest, but guilt always attaches itself to the loudest door and not the truest one. Coming up, I am going to hand you the exact instrument. I am going to give you the 3-question test that heaven uses. But first, this truth must land deep in your spirit and settle like bedrock. You were never meant to be the savior of everyone. You were meant to carry one specific assignment that only you can fulfill. Breathe that truth in right now and let the heavy guilt start to fall off your tired shoulders. We are going to find your one true door together right now. Here is the instrument I use to isolate the one true calling. It is exactly 3 questions long, and it cuts through every single illusion. Before I give you the first question, you must clearly hear what it is not. It is not asking which door is the most urgent today, because urgency is always decided by other people. And other people did not receive your specific assignment from heaven. It is not asking which door pays the absolute best. It is not asking which one you feel the most guilty about. Guilt always attaches itself to the loudest door, and it completely ignores the truest one waiting in the silence. So here is question 1. Which of the 7 is still standing there when you are at your most exhausted? You do not even have to remind yourself that it exists. Sit with that for a moment, because it is far more precise than it sounds. Every one of your 7 projects survives on a good day. The test only works at your lowest hour. Think about last Thursday at 9 in the evening when you had absolutely nothing left and you were simply too tired to be a good person on the couch. What was actually still pulling at the corner of your mind? It was completely unbothered by your deep physical exhaustion. 6 of your doors desperately need your physical energy to stay alive. One of them is actually generating its own energy. That one is not asking for discipline. It has never asked you for discipline because it has been waiting for you to finish it since before you were even qualified. It just refuses to leave your spirit alone. Now we move to question 2, which has real teeth. Which of the 7 doors have you already paid for before anybody was watching? I do not mean which one costs you the most money right now. I mean which one took something from you back when it had no audience. And which one made you stay up past midnight, learning something with absolutely nobody to impress? Which one cost you a deep friendship, because you absolutely would not bend its truth? Which one did you keep working on when your bank account was terrifyingly low? You paid for it in a currency that nobody ever reimbursed, but that holy receipt is not lost. Heaven keeps a very different ledger than your daily calendar does. You have already invested your life into it. Question 3 will settle this entire matter completely. Which of the 7 doors will not get done that specific way if you never do it? Read that carefully, because I did not say nobody will do it. Somebody else will definitely step into the room and handle it, and they might even handle it much better than you would have. That is a beautiful and necessary mercy. The real question is whether the specific shape of it ever arrives on the earth. The version that exists only because of what you have survived will die with you. If you do not finish it, 6 of your doors would be handled competently by a replacement, but one of them would simply not exist. That is the one true thing you are called to finish. Only one of the 7 doors answers all 3 questions perfectly, and I promise you that you already know exactly which one it is. You knew the answer by the very second question. What you have been missing is not new information. What you have been missing is permission, and I am giving you the spiritual permission to let the other 6 doors close tonight. Before you go any further, gently press the like button so this blessing can reach someone else who is exhausted tonight. Someone else is running 7 projects and finishing absolutely nothing. They need this exact validation to break their own exhausting cycle. Press it now so heaven can use your action to find them, and let us move into the deeper layer together. Let us look at Moses when he was standing before the burning bush. God cleared the entire desert just to speak to him alone. He was stripped of all his noble Egyptian projects and his busy schedule. God removed the crowd so he could finally hear the one true assignment that would change history. Your isolation is not evidence of your disqualification. It is evidence of your selection. You are being stripped of the extra burdens so you can carry the real mantle. What you carry is not a wound. It is a powerful weapon. The sensitivity they told you to hide is actually a spiritual radar, and the depth they called too much is the very thing that gives your words weight. You were built for a totally different frequency, and heaven is tuning your receiver. But here is where the narrative of your journey delves far deeper than most are willing to perceive. Once that truth clicks into place, you are ready for the next layer. There is a deeper root operating beneath every season of your life. If you do not clearly see it, you will just keep opening new doors. Coming up, I will expose the exact trap keeping you busy. But first, this understanding must land deep in your spirit and settle like bedrock. You have to accept that saying no is a holy act. Your refusal to do the extra work is exactly what protects your true calling. We are going to uncover the noble hiding place in just a moment. Prepare your heart, because the truth is going to challenge your deepest daily habits. Here is the symptom that has been destroying you from the inside out. There are days you work from 6 in the morning until 9 at night. You are incredibly helpful the entire time you are awake. You solve 4 major problems that completely belong to other people, and you lie down at the end of the day feeling strangely hollow. You are not proud, but you feel entirely hollow inside. By every visible measure, you were absolutely magnificent today, but you still feel completely empty. You have explained that hollowness to yourself by saying you are just a servant at heart. You believe you were built to carry the heavy burdens of others. You tell yourself that this is what true love actually looks like, but the untrue part of that story is quietly costing you your true assignment. Because here is the hidden mechanism that nobody ever names out loud. When your one thing gets close to being finished, you completely panic. You subconsciously realize that finishing it means you will finally be exposed to the world. When it gets close enough that it might actually be judged, you do not just quit. Quitting would be far too obvious, and you are far too smart for that simple mistake. You do something far more sophisticated and far more dangerous to your calling. You go and be completely excellent somewhere else. You pick up a second good work with a real need attached to it, and you pour yourself into it completely while the community heavily applauds you. That is the ultimate trap that catches you every time. This specific behavior deserves a real name because it is highly deceptive. It is called the noble hiding place. It is the only hiding place on earth where people will actually thank you for hiding. If you hid in a bottle, someone would immediately sit you down. If you hid in a dark screen for 6 hours, your family would definitely notice. But hide inside a church committee or an emergency that belongs to someone else, and you will be widely praised for your incredible sacrifice. You will be praised for the exact behavior that is keeping your own work entirely unfinished. Let us look at Martha when she was busy in her kitchen. She was not doing anything inherently wrong in that specific room, which is the part most people completely miss when they tell her story badly. She was cooking a massive meal for a very important guest. The meal was real, and the physical hunger was completely real. Somebody definitely had to do the hard work of serving the food, but the one thing was sitting in the next room, and she was avoiding it. She was so certain of her own righteousness in that kitchen. She even came out and asked for her sister to be sent in to join her exhausting work. That is exactly what a noble hiding place does to a chosen one. It does not just hide you from your calling, but it actively recruits other people into your frantic avoidance so you can feel completely justified. It makes you feel superior while you are actually running away. Notice how incredibly respectable Jonah was when he decided to escape his assignment. He did not throw a wild tantrum, and he did not violently curse heaven. He calmly walked down to a port, and he paid the required fare. There was a literal receipt for his journey. He boarded a legitimate vessel with a legitimate crew, going to a legitimate destination. And that is exactly how deep avoidance looks in the life of a very serious person. It almost never looks like loud rebellion or obvious sin. It looks like a very reasonable itinerary that happens to point away from the one thing you were told to finish. You have been buying tickets for legitimate ships for over a decade. And every time you board one of those ships, your true assignment is left completely abandoned on the shore. You are a survivor who has navigated terrible storms, but you are sailing the wrong ocean entirely because you refuse to finish the work. You did not just survive what should have broken you. It actually developed you into a warrior, but right now you are using your warrior strength to fight battles that are not yours. You are standing between two identities right now. The old identity of the exhausted servant is rapidly dissolving, and the new identity heaven is birthing requires you to finally stay in the room and finish the work without any more noble excuses. You must completely drop the noble hiding place today. But there is a very physical reason why dropping it feels so impossible for you right now. And this brings us to something most people miss entirely. The constant switching between 7 open doors has actually changed the way your mind operates. Your brain is desperately trying to protect you from the crushing weight of those unfinished loops. Coming up, I will reveal the biological toll this takes on your actual attention span, and you will understand why you cannot stay focused on your true calling. But first, this profound truth must click into place. Your busyness is the most respected form of avoidance available to a believer. You have to stop letting the applause of the crowd keep you trapped in the kitchen. In the next section, we are going to look closely at the empty spaces in your mind. I am going to show you exactly where your lost energy has been leaking for years. Stay firmly with me, because this specific diagnosis changes everything about how you will live your life. You are not the misunderstood one who has to prove their worth anymore. You are the chosen one who has a specific job to finish on this earth. The enemy does not waste premium attacks on people without premium assignments, and the intensity of your distraction is actual proof of your calling. Do not let another day pass while you hide behind a noble disguise. Your time is too valuable to spend it running away from your own greatness. Now we must look at what is happening inside your physical body today. The past explains how you got here, but the present tense is where you are actually paying the painful price. You sleep 7 or 8 full hours in your bed. You wake up, and there is a massive weight on your chest before your feet even touch the floor. You are not sad exactly. You are completely pre-tired. By 10 in the morning, you have already made 40 small decisions about which door deserves you today. By 2 in the afternoon, you are staring blindly at a screen. You read the same single line 4 times, and your brain simply refuses to hold the information. Here is what you have been telling yourself about that brutal exhaustion, and I want you to hear how quietly cruel it actually is. You have decided that you are simply lazy, or you think you are getting too old. You believe something in your wiring is permanently broken, while everyone else got the good version of the brain. If any part of this describes a serious medical concern, please take it to a doctor immediately. This word and good medical care are never competitors. But for most of the people hearing this message today, the diagnosis you gave yourself is completely wrong. Here is the real mechanism, and it is not mystical at all. It is exactly how a human mind is built to function. Anything you have started and not closed occupies a live slot in your precious attention. It does not just take energy when you actively work on it. The mind keeps an open register of every single commitment that has no ending. It checks that massive register constantly and quietly without your conscious permission. To a human mind, an unresolved commitment is like an unlocked door in a dark house at night. It simply cannot let it go. It has to stay awake and keep listening for danger, so you are never just running 7 daily projects. You are running 1 project and 6 heavy background processes, and those 6 background processes are billing your energy the entire time you are awake. It is not an overload problem, it is an open loop problem. That is the whole diagnosis in exactly 6 words. This simple reality rewrites everything behind you. Those heavy years you called wasted were never actually wasted on laziness. They were spent paying a massive tax that you did not even know existed. Every single honorable yes you ever said added a permanent line item to your soul. You were not failing to work hard. You were working incredibly hard in a house where all the heat was leaving through huge gaps. Your attention span has been eroding for 20 years because your mind was built with 2 halves meant to work together as one synchronized instrument. When they are synchronized, your attention holds perfectly. You can stay with a single thing long enough to actually reach its edge. But when they are constantly pulled apart by 7 open doors, you physically struggle. You know exactly what you need to do, but you cannot stay in front of the door long enough to close it. A partly synchronized mind is physically much more comfortable switching tasks than staying put. Modern life pulls the 2 halves completely out of step. That is not a spiritual failure on your part. It is a physiological reaction to holding too many incomplete things at once. You have not been failing to finish your true assignment. You have been trying to finish it with an instrument that was quietly taken completely out of tune. Every time you switch tasks, you lose a fraction of your creative power. And over the years, that constant switching has literally drained the deep focus you once had. But this condition is not permanent. The moment you close one door, the background processes begin to finally shut down. Your brain recognizes the closure. It stops treating every open thing as a permanent threat to your survival. 2 of the remaining doors will feel lighter immediately, and you will not have even touched them. That is what happens when your mind receives actual proof that closure is possible in this house. The silence where the noise used to be will be so unfamiliar that you might almost mistake it for deep sadness. But it is not sadness at all. It is the profound peace of an empty hallway. But here is where it gets truly confrontational, where we must look honestly at a very subtle snare that you set for yourself. We have talked about the 6 extra doors and why they drain you, but what about the 1 true door? The thing that has been quietly blocking your breakthrough on that true door isn't what your mind immediately conjured. It isn't just the lack of focus or the distraction of the other 6 projects. There is a much deeper reason you stop. Coming up, I am going to expose the exact agreement you made years ago, the agreement that keeps your truest work sitting at exactly 80%. But first, this truth must settle deep in your spirit. The people pulling away from you right now are not rejecting you. They are sensing a focused frequency they cannot yet understand, and they are grieving the scattered version of you they are about to lose. Let them go and prepare your heart for the confrontation. But here is the part no one wants to hear. And I say this with absolutely nothing but love. We usually assume we are just afraid of failure, but a person who is terrified of failing usually stops when they are only at 10%. You absolutely do not stop at 10%. You always push through the hard beginnings. You pour your energy into the foundation, and you do the heavy lifting when nobody is watching, but then you hit an invisible wall right before the actual end. Why do you stop at exactly 80%? 80% is not a fear of failing. 80% is something else entirely. It is the absolute last place on earth where a thing cannot be judged. At 80%, the work is still pure potential, and it is still going to be extraordinary one day because nobody has read it or measured it or bought it yet. It has no actual form, so its value remains infinite and totally untested. It is completely safe in that unfinished state. The moment you declare it finished, the potential collapses into hard fact, and you are deeply terrified that the hard fact might turn out to be completely ordinary. So somewhere behind your own awareness, you signed a secret contract. You signed the 80% agreement. The terms of that contract are incredibly simple. I will always be almost finished. I will carry the proud identity of a person with something truly great inside them, but I will never hand my actual work over to a final verdict. And the terrible genius of this agreement is exactly how it disguises itself, because from the inside, it looks exactly like having incredibly high standards. You tell yourself you are just protecting the quality of the work. You say, a person who cares about excellence does not ever rush. But you are not protecting the quality at all. You are actively protecting yourself from the ultimate verdict on it, and this is exactly where you have been quietly sabotaging your own profound calling for years. You trade completion for safety. Hear me carefully now, because I am not here to accuse you. This is not an accusation against your beautiful character. This is the spiritual diagnosis that sets you completely free. You did not fail. You signed that protective agreement in a season when signing it literally kept you alive, because there was a year when one more negative verdict would have destroyed you. You had already been measured and found severely wanting. You were judged by people whose opinion carried incredibly heavy weight in your life. Your soul did the only intelligent thing available at the hard time. It moved your greatest treasure to the one room nobody could ever enter, and you decided to stay hidden in that safe place for years. The unfinished room is absolutely not a sign of your deep cowardice. It was a brilliant survival strategy executed by a wounded person. You built a shield to protect your fragile gift from more pain. But you are absolutely not in that dark year anymore. The people whose verdict could have broken you are no longer in the room, and what was meant to destroy you has only revealed your incredible resilience. You survived the long winter. A shelter that saved your life in the winter becomes a suffocating cage in the spring. You are still living in that small cage today. You have been quietly afraid of your own immense power. You dim your bright light just to keep the insecure people around you comfortable, and you hold your best work back because shining too brightly makes others deeply uncomfortable. But heaven did not give you this massive assignment so you could hide it in a drawer. The world desperately needs the finished version of your specific gift. The agreement can be permanently ended by the exact person who signed it, and you are the one who signed it. You do not need permission from anyone else to close a contract that you drew up yourself while you were hurting and trying to survive. You simply have to declare plainly that the painful season it protected you from is finally over. The old you could not have survived this massive transition, but the new you is entirely ready for the heavy weight of completion. Everything now rests on one crucial question, and it is not about the 7 doors or the extra hours in your busy day. It is about whether you are finally willing to be seen holding something completely finished. It is time to let the world judge what heaven already approved. And now comes the pivotal moment where everything finally shifts. Tonight before you sleep, you are going to take your immense power back, and you are going to break the old agreement to step entirely out of the hiding place. Coming up, I am going to lead you through the exact declaration. But first, you must release every single agreement you made with smallness. You do not need anyone else to validate your authority today. The breakthrough you have been violently fighting for is already here, and it activates the very moment you stop asking for it and simply take your rightful place. Let this truth wash over your tired spirit right now. This is your moment, not tomorrow, and not when you finally feel ready. Right now is the exact time we change everything, because the long preparation is complete and the old agreements are completely void. You are standing in the hallway of your own mind. It is time to close the heavy doors. You are finally ready to be seen holding something finished, instead of just talking about what you plan to build. Here is the very first instruction for you tonight. I do not want you to pick the biggest door right now. I want you to choose the absolute smallest of your 7 open doors, and I want you to choose the one task that would take under a single hour to complete. You must completely finish it before your tired head touches the pillow tonight. Send the difficult message, make the necessary call, or pay the lingering bill. Throw away the materials for the project you already know is not yours, because holding onto them is just another form of hiding. Close one single door tonight all the way shut. Now close your eyes for just a moment and see it. You are standing in that dark hallway again, in your bare feet. You put your palm flat against the solid wood. You push the door slowly, and you feel the resistance of the cold air pushing back against your tired hands. Then you hear the small metal sound of the latch taking hold. Listen to that sound closely. That is the sound of your own house getting 1 degree warmer. Understand exactly what you just did for yourself in this quiet moment. You did not just eliminate a random task from your busy schedule. You proved to your own nervous system that a thing in your hands can actually reach a final ending. That is the crucial belief the last 20 years stole from you, and it absolutely does not come back through more teaching or more reading. It only comes back through physical evidence. You just manufactured your very first piece of solid evidence. Now, we must seal the spiritual work. Tonight before you sleep, I want you to make a physical anchor. Place your right hand firmly over your own beating heart. We are going to speak a powerful decree out loud together. Words spoken out loud do something that silent thoughts never do, because your body needs to register a physical witness to this monumental shift. Speak these exact words with me right now, and do not hold back. I release the heavy need to be needed by everyone around me. I permanently cancel the 80% agreement that kept me hiding in the shadows of my own potential. I am absolutely not behind in my life. I am simply unfinished. And unfinished is just a passing season. Unfinished is not my permanent name. My isolation was a holy preparation, and it was never a cruel punishment. I choose one true door today, and I will boldly finish it. What I finally finish, I will hand over to the world with a completely open palm. I fully release my deep fear of the final verdict. I step into my true assignment without any more noble excuses to keep me distracted, because the world does not need my frantic busyness anymore. The world desperately needs my finished offering today. Say that entire declaration again, if your voice shook while speaking it, because the physical shaking is just the old agreement finally leaving the room, and your own ears desperately needed to hear your own powerful voice today. A decision that has a physical witness stops being a fragile wish. It becomes a permanent legal decree in the courts of heaven and hell. You just reclaimed your stolen focus from the enemy who tried to scatter you. You are no longer bleeding precious energy into a dark and empty hallway. The 6 other doors can wait quietly in their proper order while you focus. You are not aggressively killing those 6 good projects. You are simply giving them a proper place to rest outside of your tired mind, so you are not their exhausted keeper tonight. You are the holy keeper of one single assignment. The provision you have been begging for is already attached to that one specific door, and heaven will not release the funds for a building you refuse to finish. Tomorrow morning you will wake up feeling entirely different. The constant low hum of 6 unfinished things checking in has finally dropped. The silence where the heavy noise used to be will be absolutely profound. Let this deep peace settle firmly into your weary bones today. Your long season of hidden preparation is completely finished, and you are ready for the light. Your massive breakthrough is not coming someday in the distant future. It is already here, and it is already moving powerfully inside of you. You do not need to chase it or force it to happen anymore, because you simply need to open your hands and hold it. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. Scripture says the end of a thing is far better than its beginning. Heaven deeply honors the brave ending of a thing, and heaven is absolutely not impressed by your 7 unfinished starts, no matter how noble they look to others. You have the power to finish the work today, and the anointing to finish is already resting heavily upon your shoulders. The season of painful preparation is officially complete. You are absolutely not the same person who started this video just a short time ago. The old you would have let the heavy guilt completely crush you into the floor today, because you always believed that doing more was the only way to earn love. But the person sitting here right now is finally ready to drop the extra bags. Tomorrow morning you are going to wake up and your chest will feel remarkably light. The constant internal scanning for danger is permanently gone. You will look at your crowded calendar and you will not feel that familiar wave of deep dread washing over you. For the first time in years, you will actually know what requires your energy and what is just a noisy distraction. The fog has completely lifted from your brilliant mind. You are taking your power back from the endless demands of a world that never stops taking. You are reclaiming the sacred territory of your own deep focus. Before we seal this message completely, let us take a holy moment to be profoundly grateful. Do not be angry at yourself for opening those 7 doors over the last decade. Every single one of those doors was opened by a person who deeply cared about the broken world. Ungenerous people never end up with 7 open doors draining their precious energy. Only the deeply willing and the incredibly loving ever find themselves in this specific trap. Your deep exhaustion is actually the holy receipt of a very generous and beautifully lived life. Heaven has carefully read every single line of that beautiful receipt. But a generous heart without a firm boundary will eventually bleed out on the cold battlefield. You must release the 6 extra burdens right now, without any lingering apologies or guilt. You are placing them out of your tired hands and into hands that can actually hold them, and you are trusting heaven with the rest. You are trusting heaven to take care of the fragile people you are stepping back from today. They will absolutely survive without your constant daily intervention. In fact, your physical absence in their emergency will actually force them to find their own spiritual strength. If this word met you in the exact place you desperately needed it, do not keep this liberation to yourself. Share this message with someone else who has been running 7 heavy projects but finishing absolutely none of them. You know exactly who they are in your own life. They are the ones who are always exhausted, but always saying yes to one more favor. Send this video to them so they can finally break their own exhausting cycle. We are building a powerful tribe of chosen ones. Your own breakthrough actually multiplies when you hand it to another exhausted soul. The enemy is absolutely terrified of a chosen one who finally knows how to focus their massive energy into one single concentrated beam. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications right now, so you never miss the next vital revelation about who you really are. We will keep walking this path. You were never meant to navigate this intense calling completely alone. There is a global family of anointed ones waking up to this exact same reality today, and your presence here proves that you are a crucial part of that grand awakening. Now I want you to go down to the comments and type exactly 4 simple words. Type the words, "I finish the one." Do not just think this phrase silently. Say it where your future self can easily find it on a difficult Thursday when the emotional toll feels far too high. Writing a firm decision where other people can clearly see it converts a private ache into a powerful public testimony. Type "I finished the one" and leave it there forever. You are declaring a permanent legal boundary in the spiritual realm when you write those bold words down. The world will definitely try to hand you a second project tomorrow morning. It will confidently offer you another noble hiding place brilliantly disguised as an urgent and highly emotional emergency. Someone will inevitably tell you that you are the only one who can possibly save the day. When they flatter you with that lie, I want you to vividly remember the immense peace you are feeling now. Refuse to come down from your holy wall to have a comfortable conversation in the valley. Your sacred wall is the absolute only thing that matters right now. Let them be temporarily disappointed in your firm boundary today. Their temporary disappointment is the exact price you must pay for your permanent freedom. May the one small door you touch tonight close completely and permanently. May the 6 other noble projects wait quietly until their proper turn. May the one true thing that only you can finish find your hands beautifully rested and your mind completely whole. The long, bitter winter is officially over, and your spiritual house is finally warm at last. You are entirely safe to finish your assignment. You are chosen and anointed for this exact critical hour. Go in peace.